The Grey Knights chapter of the Space Marines functions as the incorruptible demon hunters of the Imperium of Man. These secretive operators serve the Imperium in darkness so that the Emperor's faithful can live in the light. Among the Grey Knights, a handful of exceptional individuals are asked to join the Order of the Purifiers. These knights are considered even more pure than their brothers. Absolutely incorruptible in spirit, the Purifiers are considered the elite of the Grey Knights. Still, among the Purifiers, one man stands above them all: Castellan Garran Crowe, leader of the Purifier and wielder of the demonic sword, the Black Blade of Antwer. While no Grey Knight has ever fallen to the temptation of chaos, even the most disciplined battle brother has to spend time away from the evils of the warp, lest his mental fortitude falter. The exception is, of course, Castellan Crowe. Even among the Purifier order that he leads, Crowe is considered to be a beyond exceptional individual. His spirit is so pure, it's thought that Crowe has an awakened piece of the Emperor himself within his gene seed that allows him to guard his mind with such little effort. His spirit is pure beyond measure, and that's saying something coming from the Grey Knights. Such a pure soul is probably what allows him to carry the burden of having to wield the Black Blade of Antwer, a sword imbued with the spirit of a powerful warp entity that has corrupted all who've wielded it, except for him. Crowe, as the leader of the Purifiers, is cursed to carry the blade, as only his order possesses the spiritual maturity to remain largely untouched in the blade's presence. While even the other Purifiers cannot remain near the blade for too long, Crowe seems completely immune to its influence. Despite the weapon constantly whispering in his mind, it is his duty to not only keep the blade close, but also record its words, in case any weaknesses could be deciphered from its demented ramblings. Because of this, Crowe is never without the sword. At first, he would wear the sword on his back or have it on a wall in his chambers, but he would often come back to find the sword free of its sheath, as it desperately tries to take advantage of any opportunity to be free of Crowe and possess a new host. Because of this, Crowe has been forced to always carry the blade with him, with one hand on its hilt at all times, lest it try to escape. He has also been forced to fight with the sword in order to prevent anyone else from wielding it and becoming the evil spirit's next vessel. Even other Purifiers are forbidden to touch the blade. Antwer is an ancient being, having crossed paths with the demons of the warp many times before. Sometimes, when Crowe faces a champion of the dark gods, the blade recognizes the demon and will often try to aid the Castellan's foe in bringing about his downfall. It whispers his weaknesses and methods to the demon from the many years it has been trapped by Crowe's side. Occasionally, however, the sword will recognize the enemy Crowe faces as a former rival. In these cases, the Black Blade will offer aid to the Castellan in the hopes that it will be used to settle some ancient score and send its rival banished back to the warp. This was the case with Skulltaker, an old demonic rival of the Blade in the service of Khorne. The demon had formed a demonic host on a desolate planet and resided in an arena built from the skulls and bones of the former population. Crowe loathed to act in a way that would bring the blade any kind of joy, but he issued a challenge of single combat to the demon so that his battle brothers could destroy the host possessing the planet. During this battle, the blade ran against Crowe's mind, begging for release and for him to use the ancient power it possessed. Despite the unholy power he faced, Crowe continued to battle without the aid of his infernal companion, giving his fellow Grey Knights the time they needed to complete their mission and banish the demonic host from the planet. For most Purifiers, holding back the taint of chaos is mostly instinctive. Still, even the most hardened Grey Knights occasionally come across a force that tests their resolve unlike anything else. The Black Blade of Antwer is one of those forces. Because the evil of the blade corrupts the very fabric of reality around it, Crowe often spends his time away from war in complete isolation from other Grey Knights. Even when traveling or on a mission, Crowe is away from his fellow Astartes in order to limit any influence the blade might attempt to have, only leaving isolation when called upon to enter battle. For years, the Black Blade has waged war against Crowe. First, it attempted to overcome him through sheer strength of will, but later turned to manipulation and persuasion when Crowe's indomitable fortitude proved too much to overcome. Still, as the Blade and the Castellan spend more time together, its promises and insults become more refined and specific, hoping to find just the smallest chink in Garran Crowe's armor and corrupt its most formidable foe. That's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked what you saw or listened to, be sure to give the like button a little kiss and leave a comment on what you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.